November 23rd, 2009. And we are interviewing Mr. Harry Turner at the Mt.Mariah Baptist Church in Commerce, Texas. The interviewers are Shannon Carter and Jim Conrad, and this will become part of the National Conversation on Writing and the LSTA grant at the James G. Library, Texas A&M University-Commerce.
What does that acronym stand for, the LS with the grant?
It's the Library State Archives.
Okay.
And that grant is funded through the federal government. And we've been working with 12 rural public libraries in Northeast Texas to preserve their local history collections. And this year, we got the grant last year, and this year we got it renewed, and we're focusing on preserving African American historical materials in the libraries, and then we're going out and finding them in places like Mt.Mariah and private hands, and we're digitizing it and putting most of it into the digital library, which I call the digital library sort of a web page on steroids. Everything is cataloged and accessible. Well, this continuation of two other interviews that we've done with Mr. Turner, and Shannon has some questions.
And you do too.
I do too.
I'll give you some space to do that. Do we want to start with some of those?
Okay. How do you come up with your ideas for your inspirational pieces that appear in the weekly Sunday bulletin?
Oh gosh, just from Bible study, just from things I see around me, just from questions sometimes asked at the church. I remember hear someone say something about what is salvation, and I'll write something next week for it. I have probably about 200 or so different bulletins finished, probably another 100 that need to be finished. And I hadn't written anything in 4 or 5 years new.
Just working with your archives.
Yeah, and it's sometimes something new come up, a special day, then I write something for that occasion. But I really should get back into finishing some of my stuff. But I don't know, I did just come, you know, just come.
And you select from your archives that you've already written materials that would be directly relevant to the theme for the sermon for that day, or?
Well, you never really know what the sermon is going to be. I would like to do that. It's a good idea if we put together. But most times it's just random stuff. You know, maybe about usually around the holiday, be around Christmas. It'll be generated around Christmas or Easter or something like that, special days. But during this regular Sunday, you know, it'll be just anything. You never know.
What's the process of writing something like that? Or do you do editing, a rough draft?
Sometimes, if it's something that, when I first started, I'd write it down on paper and a pad. And then I'd, you know, make corrections, take out this, rearrange that paragraph. But after a couple of years, I was able to sit down at a computer and just do it right then. My spelling would be bad, but I'd be able to, punctuation wrong, but I'd be able to just not make as many mistakes. I think I'd be able to form it in my mind first. You know, see it before I put it down, rather than just kind of read it and then kind of, you know, some people, they read it and then they've got to, okay, I read this, where am I going now? But I would always, here's where I am, I know where I'm going, so. And basically, my writing is, I'll tell what it's about, tell some story about it, and try to tell a non-biased opinion about it. And here at this church, that people draw their own conclusions. You know. I don't believe in pushing certain denomination stuff in my writing. I don't just, you know, I don't really just write write a bunch of stuff I'm not sure about,
So research is always involved.
Yes.
Is there a certain challenge in writing something that needs to be done every week? Isn't that a demanding task?
It would be if you don't love it. For me, it's really not a job, it's a blessing. Keeps me alive. The thought for today is my heart. It's not hard at all. I feel bad because I hadn't kept up and finished those 100 books, and so I've got it. But I've just about exhausted everything there is to talk about. Every subject I've hit it. Ain't much left. So, every book in the Bible, it's everything.
What kind of reaction have you gotten from the congregation on these?
On bulletins?
On the bulletins you're...
Oh God, very favorable. Yeah, I print here presently about 110, and after service is over, I may collect 10. So 100 of them are gone, and I think our people here are taken for granted. But when visitors come in, they see it, they say, well, we don't have it at our church or whatever, But I'm not patting myself on the back, but I think, put together some really good material. I really do. I hadn't seen anything like anywhere else. And I don't copycat all my stuff, so. And the pastor here and the deacons, they said, well, Harry, just do it the way you want. They give me free control. It's what I want to do. So it's been good here, and some still in control. Yeah. It's changing, but slowly.
Was there sort of an informal network if something happened in the Norris community and it was something negative that was a result of what was happening in the white community? Would there have been a way that somebody here in the black community would have gone to somebody in the power structure, white power structure, to say, we need some change, we need some support, we can't do it, but you can?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that had been done by several people. Usually not a lot of men, usually women, because they worked in those homes. And they got to know those families who knew families. And usually it's them because my relative, my son, grandson got in trouble. Please, sir, can you help me? And they kind of offshoot to, well, could you help us with this project here? But the black men weren't that influential in city politics. It was the black woman, because she worked in those kitchens, in those homes, cleaning those houses as maids and stuff all over. And so she knew the white lady of the house. The black woman tell the white lady, she tell her husband, and then things get to going,
Where did the black men work?
The black men worked on farms. They worked labor, manual labor, whatever there was to do. And a lot didn't work because there was simply no work here.